So last week I started this one, and the exercise really was on gridding. So gridded this image up. I think it's that one, or it might have been that one. It's very similar, and then just try and then so basically what I did was I just you didn't see it. Basically, I just got a picture and folded it into quarters to get a grid and fold it that way. And then you can then just mark folds, put some lines over across. You just need to get rid of, if there's a border, you need to just get rid of the border first. So that, and then the idea then is that you make sure that the picture and the board are the same format, so that the ratio of that to that is the same as this to this. Hi Naomi. And did that by just taking a straight edge through the corners. That should get you the same ratio. So that's that. These images are Anglesey in Wales. So this was the sort of thing that I did while I was there. So two very quick paintings, and this one, these rocks here were these ones. So it's kind of, this was taken from higher up in the car park, whereas we went down a little painting sort of on the beach, trying to hide from the wind really. So that was what we did earlier in the year. So yeah, just then pastel penciled out here just to get the main shapes. And then what I'm thinking to do is, this could be acrylics or oils. Underpainting, basically underpainting with acrylics, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'll just do a little demonstration. I've kind of done the sky, and I've done this little bit in the background. And you don't, with the first sort of layer of paint, you don't need to get all the details. It's just getting some colours and shapes, and looking more to do with like the light shapes and the dark shapes. Like this bit here, to me, is sort of like a dark shape, and this is slightly lighter. You could kind of simplify all of that. So if I just have a go at that, I tend to go with the darker bits first. It's just for me that works a bit better. And I'm just mixing kind of grey with some brown and some blue, and maybe a little bit of red, crimson, perhaps a bit more blue, just to get a general sort of darkish, slightly purple grey, and tiniest bit of white. And basically, I find sort of with acrylics, I find that the paint dries so quickly. I like to just try and use as big a brush as I can. Otherwise, I feel like the brush marks are quite awkward looking. You could just paint this thinly as a wash. This is slightly thicker. Just trying to roughly follow the shape. But if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the day, because it's going to have another layer over the top anyway. So actually, I'm really trying to concentrate on the darker areas at the moment, which is going to be down here. I think next week I'll use the same image and do a bit more to it, but I'll also do some watercolours, because one or two people are using watercolours. So yeah, just looking at the dark shape, so perhaps a little bit darker there, and bringing that along. And then this shape here, I probably could have drawn that in really, but I haven't, so I can do that. Brush, it's quite a big broad shape, so that can, and then the lighter areas, I'll add a little bit of green and a little bit of yellow to that, because there are some, and a tiny bit of white. So not too worried about the colour at the moment. It's more just getting a sense of where the light shapes are, where the dark shapes. And sometimes these sort of underpainting layers, it can be quite nice to have some of that coming through into the final layer. So you can be thinking on those sort of way. So that would be that area. I'll just use another brush just to save washing that one. The sea area, what I've done a little bit of this already. It's like a kind of, well, this one yeah, I've enhanced the colour on this particular image a little bit, so it's a little bit bluer than it really was. So I'm just going to grey it down a little bit. So a bit of the mixture I've got already, plus a little bit of cerulean blue, and that should be okay. I could leave some little areas of white if I wanted, or just paint it all this sort of bluey colour. And the water level's coming down to about there. I'll just scrub that in quickly because that will dry fairly quickly then. So that could be the underpainting. All these bits of waves and foam, I could do that with perhaps with oils if I did the oil painting there. But I'll just show you. I just want to go back to this nice big brush. Just clean that and dry it. I don't want it too wet. And then really just an off-white really. So a tiny bit of grey and white. And then I can kind of get some. It's probably going to, it's picking up a bit of the colour underneath, so it might be easier to wait for that to dry. But you can do some marks a bit like that. So using a flat brush, quite a big brush, just coming across a little bit. That starts to give an impression of the waves. So I might not be able to do it all with that, so I might then need to go to a very thin brush, very small brush. Perhaps something like that, a little rigger brush. Get that to a point. There might be individual kind of peaks of waves. It's like sort of thin details that I would use. That one too. Just make the paint a bit more fluid. But really, this stage I could really do with the later date really, with the just kind of getting more details. So starting quite broadly and then working detail into it. Is that enough?
It's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, leave it at that way. Right. Right, you wanted these, yeah?
Yeah.
So, do you want to stand?
I think I will have to stand. Don't know where I'm going to
Be
be.
here?
Yeah,
Be
do
here?
it.
Yeah.
Do it there.
Got my favourite.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so lower that. If you want it any lower,
Yeah.
we can, might be easier to just lower the feet a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will be okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just get rears. Right, so paints, you might as well use these, I've got some colours out already. So this is acrylic paint, just a little plastic box. Oh no, I haven't. That'd be a good idea.